something. And welcome to another special event called the Superfan Addicts podcast. I'm your host, Ray Showdog Prisby, and we have an exceptional show for y'all tonight. We have a guest, and we have a guest coming. The guest that's here, I call him Double T. Some people call him Spot Dog, but you can call him Tony Turner, alias the Spot Dog. What's up? What's going on, Tony Turner?
Hey, my man, how you doing? I'm doing good.
You good? You good? What's been going on with you?
Hey, going through all that snow. Columbus got 12 inches of snow, and good thing 15-year-old and 16-year-old came to my door, wanted to shovel some snow for some money. I didn't turn them down. Yeah. I saved my body, man.
Well, and the thing is, you don't hardly see that anymore. I mean, kids. I think kids know how to shovel on a game. They probably know how to do it on an Atari or one of them games, but the actual get out and do it. Wait a minute, did you see the guy, the young guy? His parents told him to go out and shovel the snow.
Right.
He shoveled the snow off the grass.
Right. Did you just say an Atari?
I did say Atari. Hey, I'm sorry, I dated myself.
Come on, dog.
I couldn't. You know what? I was thinking the newer games, but Atari was the only thing that came out.
Man.
Yeah, that was during our era. Mm-hmm. This
Yeah.
was the funniest thing about it. I told him I ain't had no cash. 16 said, "You can cash out me."
They know how to get the money now. They definitely know how to get the money. What about you, Cody? What's been going on with you? Did y'all get snow down there in Tennessee? I'm sorry, Kentucky.
We got a little bit of snow, a little bit of ice, and then a little bit of snow on top of it. It's made the walking a little bit harder for the last week, but I got it done. I had done 2 miles every day since I think December the 10th. I was only able to do 1 yesterday. If I would have tried to walk any more than that, I would have got myself killed because it was an ice rink out there. But yeah, it's.
Did they shut down? Did they shut down the city down there? Like.
Oh yeah.
Schools out and
schools are still out.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's they close up for a week. It's rough, man. We're not used to it. It's not the worst snow I've ever seen. It's just that layer of ice really got people. And I still don't think the storm ended up being as bad as it was estimated to be. And now it was down around Mississippi and Nashville and things like that. I think 100 people have already died from the ice and all that.
Man.
But yeah, it's been brutal. But luckily we were spared the worst of it. I've been able to get out the last couple of days and stuff like that. So yeah, things are all right.
Okay. Well, hey, y'all ready to get started, or y'all want to talk about snow some more? What you want to do, Cody? You the producer. Where we going?
All right, we can get started.
All right.
I got a feeling this is one of those shows that I'm going to talk a lot because I got a lot to say. Some of it positive, some of it negative. But first, before we do that, this is the 36th edition of the Superfan Addicts podcast, and boy, do I have a challenge for you. Give me a number 36 for the Cleveland Browns. This is the hardest one yet, and I don't think I can do it.
Scales. His last name was Scales. I'm almost positive. Number 36. Was it? I just remember his last name was Scales.
Want me to tag team on you? I know his first name.
I don't need to know his first name. I gave it.
What's his first name?
Charlie Scales.
Charlie.
1962 to 1965. Charlie Scales. Like I said, I think this is approximate value. He's the third highest. Yeah, approximate value. The third highest Cleveland Brown to ever wear that number in approximate value is Charlie Scales, who played from 1962 to 1965.
I think I got another name.
Give me another one.
Oh, wait. Never mind. Go ahead, T.
I was thinking about Larry Conjar, but I think he might have been 35. I think Larry Conjar.
He's not listed on 36.
Did he wear 36?
Marion Motley wore 36.
Ooh, Marion Motley's not listed either. Hold on, let me see.
I think he did.
He did.
Yeah, because he had 76, and then when they made him switch numbers, he went from 76 to 36. I'm pretty sure of that.
He did. You're right. Marion Motley did wear 36. Apparently, maybe he didn't do much the year that he wore it, though.
Well, no, he played. I want to say he played probably. Okay, they did the switch in 54? No. 54? It was that late?
Yeah, 54. I think 54 or 53 because he got traded to the Steelers 1 year. He might have got traded to the Steelers in 54. About 36, he wore that when they switched him in maybe 53.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Tony, Larry Conjar was number 35 for the Browns.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, so Motley, yeah, he did wear it. He didn't even establish a approximate value, so I'm guessing he didn't do much the time that he had it. And as for Larry Conjar, I said 35 for him too, didn't I?
Well, here's the thing though.
Okay.
Mary Motley is a Hall of Famer, so you still
right, but maybe I think it's only gauging the time in which he wore that number.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah.
What year did you have for him at number 36?
52 and 53.
Okay. Wow. Mm-hmm.
So if you look at his career, we can pull it up maybe and see what he did in 52 and 53.
Well, he was an original Brown, I'm pretty sure, 46.
He was.
And then,
it's actually kind of crazy that he did okay. He had 444 yards in 52 and a touchdown, 161 yards in 53, no touchdowns. And then he went and played for the Steelers the last year. He wore 36 for them too. Craig Foster says Ed Ulinski. That's a good shout. 1946 through 1949. He had to have looked that up, right?
But I was gonna say, Craig. Don't be on Google now, Craig.
Yeah, he's on Google. Tony, you got a positive compliment here from the YouTube chat.
Oh yeah, Tim. Tell Tim.
That's young Tim. That's young Tim. What's up, young Tim? Where you at, young Tim? You could have came through. I just figured you be teaching. I mean, I'm teaching. You be taking them classes that you just started.
I'm trying to get started and get a photo pulled up here for our first topic, but my computer is giving me some issues here. I don't think it's going to be much of a surprise what the first thing we have to talk about are. We have our man, or do we? Coaching search is over. We probably just talk about all things over here. The question Ray had to ask was, would you consider the search dysfunctional? The question that I ask is, what are your thoughts? And let's start with our guest, Tony. What do you think about Todd Monken being the, what'd they say? What number head coach is he?
19.
Whatever it is. 19?
I think he's number 19 coach. I thought I heard that.
Of the Cleveland Browns. Tony, take it away.
Well, you know what? His seemed like his name wasn't mentioned earlier when they was talking about the search. It seemed like he came in on the tail end. I think one thing when I hear the name Todd Monken, the first thing I think about is Lamar Jackson, because he enhanced his career. He had his best quarterback season under Todd Monken when he threw 41 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and ran 900 yards. Now, I want my quarterback to throw 41 touchdowns, have no interception, but Shador is not running 900 yards. That's my quarterback I have. But, with that, and then, hearing his bio, man, hey, he got a lot of years as a coordinator, and he got a lot of NFL career. They talk about his college career. And just thinking, we wanted the young guys, but he got a good stability. And maybe that's what we needed to move forward with our offense. They say he's a no-nonsense guy. He is sarcastic, but, hey, he's going to tell it like it is. So I'm happy to have him.
All right, Ray, let's hear your spin on things before I make it all negative.
Let me just correct my astute colleague. He was actually the first person that we reached out to, because the thinking was, if we got him in here first, we could test the temperature on what Harbaugh wanted to do. Now whether that happened or not, but he was literally one of the first candidates the day. Yeah, he was one of the first candidates. Hey, I like it in the sense that, okay, we got a coach, but I'm more concerned about who he brings in as the coordinators. because we already know that if Schwartz does, if it is official that Schwartz is leaving, we're going to have to get somebody on the defensive side for, if nothing else, that the defensive side respects. They're going to have to get somebody respectable. So don't be bringing in some young kid right out of high school, because that's not going to hold well with, because that's the most veteran side of the team is the defense. So we got to bring in somebody, a veteran coordinator for those.
I have not had a chance to check, but go ahead, Cody. I wanted to ask something about the defense. Go ahead and answer your question on number one.
All right, so I want to start with a simple phrase. Perception is reality.
Absolutely.
The perception of the Cleveland Browns is that of a joke. Todd Monken is an offensive coordinator who has had some decent success. Now, granted, it wasn't here in 2019, but he also wasn't the play caller. He left a terrible situation here. He went to Georgia. They did good things. They won a couple national titles. He did really well with Stetson Bennett. He went to Baltimore. Now, granted, you're walking into a pretty good situation in Baltimore. I'm not going to pretend that wasn't a great situation. However, the optics of this thing are this. The Ravens wanted Todd Monken fired. Jim Harbaugh fell on the grenade and said, no, I'm not firing him. This isn't on him. And so they fired a 17-year veteran, 18-year veteran who had won a Super Bowl to keep they just said, you know what? You don't want to fire him? We're going to fire you. And that's the guy that the Cleveland Browns, who have the perception of being the big joke, the dysfunctional franchise, the joke of an organization, that's the guy we go out and get. So naturally, we cannot be upset when the entire perception of the league is, what the hell are these guys doing? When Myles Garrett himself his reaction, and we'll talk about that later, but his reaction is, what the hell are these guys doing? When everyone's saying you go young, offensive-minded, blah, 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 and you do this, you hire the guy that pretty much nobody thought you were real serious. I told someone the other day, I thought they just hired him because they thought morons counted towards the Rooney Rule. But the perception is we took the Ravens dumpster. What the reason that got Jim Harbaugh fired, we hired, no one else wanted him, and no one else would have ever thought. And then everyone says, well, the Browns are the Browns. This is how you get that reputation. However, back on the positive side, if they didn't feel comfortable, maybe they thought this team needed a guy who would bring structure, discipline, an older guy who can bring in a coordinator to work with. He can work with the quarterback himself. Then, hey, maybe it works out. It's hard to tell. But the reaction to this hire and to this news comes back to the simple phrase, perception is reality. And the perception comes from the fact that we hired a guy that got Jim Harbaugh fired, and there wasn't anything positive else to be said about that. And then there's 1,000 ways you can go from there, but that's the initial reaction is going to be shitting on it because of that.
Well, let me jump in here real quick. First of all, I don't think there might have been one or two coaches. The Browns have that shitty perception regardless. I mean, and we've had it for a while because we've been losing for a while. So that's number one. But number two, and most importantly, somebody had to go in Baltimore. And it wasn't going to be Lamar. Same with Buffalo. You can't fire the $40 million quarterback, so somebody has to go. And in both cases, the coach in Buffalo, he had to go. The coach here in Wichita had to go. So I wouldn't necessarily say that, oh, he's the reason he got fired. The bottom line is somebody was getting fired up in Baltimore, because anytime you have a fan base that is screaming for somebody's blood, they got to give them somebody's blood. So, sure. And the offensive coordinator is probably one of the easiest, but at the same time, can we really blame Lamar missing because the biggest problem was Lamar never showed up last year because he was hurt a lot.
Right. So there's my question. Why did someone have to be fired? Why did the blood have to be on somebody's hands when Lamar missed so many games? Now, granted, I think he started 13 games, but I think he left 2 of those hurt. So why did someone have to get fired?
Because ticket holder, you have to appease the ticket holder. You have to appease your fan base. So whenever something's going wrong, the fan base wants blood. They want somebody. We got to, in other words, I'm gonna bring it full circle. The perception is what you is a reality. The perception is we have to appease the. It just goes back to the gladiators days. We gotta appease the people. Somebody gotta die in the arena. We're a little more civilized now. Nobody has to die, but somebody gotta go. So
sure, I'm not disputing that. But
all I'm saying is I wouldn't put that much. Oh, we took their leftovers. No, it ain't the leftover, because at the end of the day, Lamar was the issue. It wasn't Monken. It wasn't a head coach. But the perception is with the fans, somebody got to go because we sucked last year. Same with Buffalo. How do you get rid of after watching that Buffalo game, and it was clearly what was the problem in that game? How do you come away and fire the head coach after watching that game? Well, you got to appease the fan base because now the fans are heated. We've been to the playoffs so many times. We can't go any further. Somebody got to go. So, and that's the perception. The perception is somebody got to go, and it's usually the coach or i.e. somebody on the coaching staff.
But my argument to that is Buffalo could have made the decision they made 3 years ago when after the first couple times of early exits, they could have said, all right, something's got to change. They gave McDermott a lot of leashes before they said, all right, let's cut him. They had the perfect excuse for Monken to say, all right, we're going to let this go one more year. Lamar was hurt this year, and they didn't. And furthermore, and why didn't anyone else interview Monken is my question. No one else did.
No. He had at least three other interviews because when he left Cleveland, he left going to another interview. Now I don't know how many, but I know he had at least one more because when he left Cleveland, he left to do another interview. So, but here, let me address that real quick. Any agent, and everybody has an agent, coordinators. Heck, you even got your talking heads have agents, and a lot of them have the same agent. So anytime you have an agent, any agent that's worth his weight in gold is going to create a situation that looks like my person that I'm representing is in demand. So a lot of times when you see those guys that was calling in and saying, "Hey, we're backing out," all that was them saying,
yeah.
The Browns had already let them know, we're going in another direction. Okay, thanks a lot. Hey, we don't want to do no more interviews with the. Come on, man. It's all a circus. It's all a circus act.
The interviews that he had were as an offensive coordinator were the only head coaching interview. He interviewed for the Tampa Bay offensive coordinator job and for the Giants offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Tony,
I just knew he had other interviews.
Tony, what are your thoughts on me and Ray not being able to agree on this?
But it's okay though.
Yeah, that's the point. Oh, hold on. You were echoing, so I muted you. Start over for me. Oh no, it actually says you muted yourself. Unmute yourself, Ray or Tony.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
This one of the stories I've been hearing on the podcast. It seemed like everybody that Andrew Berry had brought to Jimmy Haslam, he didn't want him. I think this was his age. He just wanted some stability, and then it came down to like him and Swartz and Anthony Lynn. This on his record, they say he's has some good stability, been successful in the college, and the Ravens have been a good powerhouse offensive team, and they have definitely kind of dominated the North Division, which could give another positive thing. He knows the North Division, and they think he might have a good commanding type of attitude over the players.
Okay.
So it's new. Hey, so let me ask you. Let me ask you guys this question.
No. Let me ask this. Hold your question. I just got one quick thing to interject. The one thing that I like most about him more than anything, he will tailor the offense around the player. Because with Lamar Jackson up there, they went to Louisville and said, "Hey, what was y'all running?" Because we want to play to his strengths. So that's one of the good things that they say about Todd, that he will develop the plays around people's capabilities. All right, go ahead, T.
Yeah, and hopefully, like what they talked about his past, with Baltimore, he used his tight end, and hey. He when Lamar was hurt, he got Todd Huntley to play well. I mean, they kept bringing Huntley. I might not be calling his first name right, but the quarterback Huntley, they kept bringing him back, and he was productive. So I just asked you guys this question: you flip the coin. Would you have rather gotten him, or would you have rather gotten McCarthy that the Steelers picked up?
I'd rather jump off of the nearest building.
If McCarthy would have came here,
yeah.
Well,
yeah,
okay.
I'm not a big fan of McCarthy either.
Well, we haven't got Dustin's thoughts on any of this because he finally joined us. Dustin, me and Ray have argued a little bit. I think that the perception of the hire is certainly hurting us right now. I think there are some positives. Ray thinks he likes what we got. What do you think, Dustin? Give us a nice middle ground here.
Well, I feel like I'm being asked by everybody. Spectrum News wanted me to go across the state yesterday and give my opinion. So here it is.
We don't care.
Okay, fine. I'll see you later. Good night. No, us Browns fans are just Stockholm syndrome. Like, we just don't know how to handle a good hire, bad hire, indifferent, because we've been shell-shocked and electrocuted so many times as fans. Look, if you look around the league and you get out of the microcosm of the Cleveland Browns, John Harbaugh's not a happy. The Harbaughs, which one is in New York? Is it Jim or John? I always get them.
John.
So, yeah, John's not happy today. In his mind, he probably thought that he was going to get an offensive coordinator to make his job a lot easier with Jackson Dart. Kirby Smart, the head coach of Georgia, he won a college championship under him, and then he was a head coach. And by the way, he's been in the league for a long time. Here's the thing. He's going to, let's pump the brakes. Let's see who he brings in as a staff, right? That's a big deal. But I mean, already a really well-respected offensive line coach. I'm hearing some other hires coming. I can't say those names publicly yet, but I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised the staff that Monken puts together, because by the way, he's very well respected around the league. And a lot of the coaches that have worked with him have given him their flowers. So, and saying, yeah, it's about damn time, Monken got a head coaching job. So I'm going to go on the record. This is a hot take. The Browns have the easiest strength of schedule in the National Football League. 60% of the football teams that have the easiest record in the National Football League from the going into the season make the playoffs. The Browns are going to make the playoffs with Todd Monken, and those that are on the side of the cliff are going to slowly start creeping back to the middle and say, "Oh, I was a Todd Monken fan. I knew he could do it." Now, yeah, Todd, we're going to be just fine.
I'm gonna be honest. You sold me a little bit right there, Dustin. I will. I'm always open to changing my thoughts.
Well, but here, look at what he did, with the offense in Baltimore. And I'll just pull it up here really quick. This is an important thing to look at. Our offense is terrible in Cleveland. And last time I checked, the worst offense in the National Football League. But you tell me, if you have the number 1 to the number 3 defense in the National Football League, and you can bring it now. Again, Lamar Jackson was this quarterback, so there's an asterisk. But Number 1 rushing yards for this football team under his helm in Baltimore. Number 3 in rushing touchdowns. Number 2 in scrimmage yards. Number 3 in points per game in the National Football League. And number 5 in receiving touchdowns over the course of his 3 years in Baltimore. Tony, would you sign up for that as a Browns fan? Tony, I think you're muted.
Because you know what? That's been our problem, man. Our offense has been the problem. That's been.
Look at those stats.
Got somebody and brought some stability. Wish you could find the stat on our penalties that we had the last 2. I think we led.
You mean our pre-snap penalties? Yeah, that was a nightmare. Yeah.
Pre-snap penalties. I think we led the league the last couple of years in pre-snap penalties.
Yep. And Tony, what is that? That's coaching. That's not the players.
Hey, that's it. Coaching, where they was talking about. I guess Stefanski tried his practices was kind of easy going, and hey, you got to bring that discipline back in there, or this some commander holding the people accountable. So they saying he's a no nonsense type of guy. I guess one thing I'm gonna be concerned about if he's gonna call the offensive plays. Now, if he shouldn't the first year. He shouldn't, and give him a good offensive coordinator to call the plays.
Well, and he brought up a good point in 2019 when we had Chubb. Can you pull that stat up again with James? That's one of the asterisks that people pointed out. I mean, we were 6-10 that year, but Chubb had 1,500 yards with the offensive coordinator. Baker threw for almost 4,000 yards. By the way, that was Todd Monken as our offensive coordinator. So. Yeah, I'm just saying, I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised by this hire. And by the way, leadership of men, right? I mean, let me ask you, he's going to come in and demand respect at 59 years old. He's been around the league. He's coached at, a head football coach in the NFL. He's been an offensive coordinator everywhere in the league, right? I mean, how can you not respect someone like that coming in the room? Oh, and by the way, he's gotten some trophies along the way.
I will say,
go
ahead, Tony.
And he knows the cold weather because he's been playing in the north, man. He know the teams he's playing against.
Well, but think about this. You have now Todd Monken. Okay, now I think Andrew Berry and Ray talks about this all the time. Chess versus checkers. You hire Todd Monken. You have to play the AFC North teams twice a year. You do not have Mike Tomlin anymore, and you no longer have Harbaugh, and you've got the same Zach Taylor, the same coach down in Cincinnati. What offensive coordinator knows all 3 of those teams really damn well? His name is Todd Monken. Now, if you can win more than half of those games, you're in good shape.
So you said that he had been a.
Why are you chuckling, Sugar Ray?
Oh, no reason.
You had said that he had been a head coach. He has only been a head coach in college before. This will be his first run as an NFL head coach. And I will say, a large reason that I was at first really, really down on this was I was like, man, his only head coaching experience, they went 13-25. However, the year before he got there, they were winless. They won 1 game his first year, 3 games his second year, 9 games his third year.
And won a bowl. And
won a bowl game back when that mattered. So that does make me feel a little better about it, about the entire thing. Like I said, just to me, it's hard not to get mad at first because of the perception. But now that a day has went by, there's things I'm excited about. Having an older guy that, I do think will clean up those pre-snap penalties. I do think will demand respect and coach a certain way. I saw Marlon Humphrey was excited. I thought that was kind of odd.
Well, look at all the Ravens players that have come out. I mean, where are all the Cleveland Browns players speaking out how much they love Kevin Stefanski? I didn't see that happen when he left, but as soon as Todd Monken got a job, Tony, Ray, you saw that. All these Ravens players are like, oh, man, that's awesome. Oh, and by the way, Lamar Jackson was upset because he said Todd Monken was too tough. I'm sorry. I'll take that all. I'll take that all day long. I'm too tough. Okay, well, that's the kind of coach I want in there. That's demanding accountability of my players.
I did want to say too, Dustin, on these stats that you were talking about with the rushing yards, some of that's got to be skewed that they have the best rushing quarterback maybe ever and Derrick Henry. So we can't be too optimistic there.
Well, let me
take
Cody, I'll push back on that. What happens if you take Todd Monken and we go back 3 years and we run his, he likes to have heavy tight end sets, likes to run the ball. What happens if you give him Baker Mayfield, Kareem Hunt, and Nick Chubb in their prime?
Okay.
You can't tell me he's not going to have some good numbers there. You know what I mean? I think you
possibly, but I'll push back on that by saying none of those three men will be wearing orange and brown next year.
Well, but we have a good backfield. Before Quinchon got hurt, he was about to eclipse 1,000 yards, and that's with Browns fans clamoring to run the ball more, not less.
Sure.
So I think with Judkins and the two-back set again this year, I think we're going to be okay. And by the way, let's not forget we have the 6th and the 24th pick and 10 picks in this draft. I think we're just going to load up again. Like I just think this is going to be a young, good team, not great next year. But I think Todd's going to be innovative on offense. And by the way, Ray, I want you to get a word in here because I want your opinion on this. Baltimore wanted to draft Shedeur Sanders.
Correct.
Georgia.
And Georgia, right. Go ahead.
And Georgia had an offer to have him transfer there and play. Now, connect the dots. Does Mr. Monken see something that he can build around and make a star into Shedeur Sanders? And by the way, if that's the case, the Browns did hit the lottery because they have a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal, and you can go get wide receivers, offensive tackles, all those things you need, and you don't have to worry about paying this quarterback for 3 or 4 years. And then, by the way, then you're in the dome, and you got a really, really good team going into the dome.
Hey, this the ad that nobody don't want to talk about. I think it was the last 5 games that Shedeur played in. Was it 5 or 6? The last 5.
He played 7 total games.
If you want to look at the real, he improved every game he played in. He got better and better, and things that people said he needed to improve or change, he changed it. Nobody don't want to talk about him. Hey man, that's our quarterback for the future. That is the guy.
Well,
now how about you don't have this? Go ahead.
Well, how about you go 3-4 as a starter with the worst offensive line and the worst receiving core? Let me say that again: 3-4 with by the way with a guy that never played with the ones ever because he was handcuffed.
No, actually, they wanted to redshirt him.
Well, that's true. We know that. That's public knowledge.
I think the kid needs a lot of work processing zone defenses. And maybe Monken's the guy that can get him there. To me, the hesitancy with Shedeur is it seems like he does not process zone defense as well. The arm talent's there. His ability to beat man is there, but processing and picking apart his own coverage is where he has to improve. And perhaps Monken's the guy.
It comes with time, though, right?
Well, of course, yeah.
It comes with reps, but at the same time, let's not pretend like any quarterback, not just Shedeur, has the longest leash in the world. They throw him in there these days, and you've got
absolutely.
about 8 games.
However, though, he shouldn't have. See, he's getting so like the kid from Chicago last year, high first round. Matter of fact, wasn't he the number 1 overall pick?
Yeah, he was 1 overall.
So why is Shedeur getting first round talent pressure when he was a 5th round pick? I mean, that's the part that I'm not understanding because he's getting the scrutiny like, oh my God, we wasted such a high draft pick on him, and we're not going to get nothing. He got to hurry. No, he doesn't have to hurry up. He's a 5th round pick. We can take our time with him. So,
well, but think about this, Ray, and I know Cody doesn't watch as much Browns football. Since Joe Flacco found youth in a bottle in 2023. And was throwing the ball over 300 yards in that football game, we didn't see anything close to the big playability till Shedeur Sanders got in that football game and
I agree.
stretched the field and 30 and 40 yards down the field. I'm like, I haven't seen that since 2023 with Joe Flacco. I've just been seeing dink and dunk and dink and dunk, right, Tony? I mean, it was just like the slow roll.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know what? Just like Stefanski, man, this making his name, he was so rigid. Everybody could see the quarterback that we had in there was not producing, and he should have pulled him. But he just was going to be so stubborn and not do that. But I got to ask producer Cody,
What's up?
who you want to be your starter first game in 2026 quarterback?
I have to see how free agency shakes out.
No. We ain't getting no free agency. We just gonna have these three quarterbacks. So who you want to be your open day starter?
So Tony, you're saying if the Browns don't go get a bridge quarterback in free agency, and we had what's on the roster today?
We already got a bridge quarterback. His name is Deshaun Watson.
I want to throw him off a bridge.
Wait a minute, hold up. You can't.
We can't.
There are three
All right.
quarterbacks. You talk about you can't read zone. So who of the three quarterbacks right now? Who do you want to be?
It's still definitely Shedeur of the three that we have right now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm thinking Deshaun is going to start, but
No.
we'll see.
You already have enough Browns fans. I've seen in the comments turning in their season tickets. I quit. I'm done. You put him on the field, that might just take the Browns fans right off the edge. Now, Ray and I do know this. Winning football games quiets a lot of people up and shuts a lot of people up. If he goes out there and goes 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, like I said, I think this is a play. I think this is a team that can make the playoffs. I mean, their winning percentage, they have the easiest schedule in the National Football League. So, yeah, I agree with that, George. Gabriel probably gets traded.
Yeah,
He probably,
Hong Kong.
he probably
I can't
gets traded
So
to a
you
team
got-
that needs a quarterback.
But
Okay,
yeah,
I got it.
But yeah,
I see
Tony,
it.
going back to what you said, it's definitely Shedeur. I don't think Watson ever plays another game here. I've said that on this show for weeks now. I think he's done. I could say it in a lot nicer or in a lot meaner of ways. I could say it in a lot meaner of ways, but if I have to watch Deshaun again, it'll be a sad day in my life because that ship has just sailed. It was a failed experiment. In the 2 to 3 years he played, I don't even remember now. He had one good game, like one and a half good game.
No, he had better. Here's the problem. He was taken off in that Baltimore game, won it, and then we all got hit with that message from the Browns the very next day. He's out for the season. Here's the thing. He very well may be the best quarterback on this football team, and let me explain why. Everybody was ready to throw Sam Darnold in a dump truck and send him off into retirement, and now he's in the Super Bowl. So this is a quarterback that, 5 years ago was a Pro Bowler and was top 3 in the league. He's only 30 years old. Like this, don't tell me Deshaun Watson can't come back and play. If he's determined enough to prove the world wrong, I could see him in a uniform if he's winning games. Because I think also Todd Monken's going to say, hey, this is my team. I know this isn't going to go well in public, but do you want to win games or do you care what people's personality or do you care about people's feelings? I know what the owner's going to say. If you think he wins games, put him on the field.
No, I agree.
So I think they'll have do you think they'll have an open quarterback competition during preseason?
Yes.
I mean during camp.
1,000%.
And I think Deshaun probably will win it hands down just from his experience. If he's healthy, he's healthy to play, he might not be able to play when he come back to camp.
Yeah, because he's coming back from 2 injuries, right? So, but if he's out there slinging it, and Todd Monken's, I'm just saying, this Cleveland fan base is very forgiving, probably more forgiving than they probably should be. But if he goes out and starts winning games and wins a conference championship, all will be like, well, we got a little bit of our money back.
Hey, Dustin, before I move on, you missed This is the 36th episode of the Superfan Addicts podcast. Can you name me a Cleveland Brown who wore number 36?
Don't be looking around. No Google. No Google.
No, I mean 36 that's a tough number.
It was. It was. I had to dig deep.
So is this a Cody quick trick question? Okay.
No, there's plenty of them.
Doing it every week. He does it every week.
All right, 36.
Last week was 35.
So 36 is defense more than likely, right? Is that fair to say?
No. Running back or defense?
No, running back.
Oh, running backs.
Why are you looking down? Hey! Eyes up!
Down
Eyes
there,
up.
Dustin.
Eyes up here! Eyes up here!
No, I'm just thinking. I'm not looking at here. My hands. There you go. My hands.
I'll move to the next topic, and I'm gonna give you time to think about it. We're gonna come back to you at 8:00. You've got to have one.
Okay.
Let's talk. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, Ray, from what you had.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So the reports are Schwartz kind of told everyone around him, "Hey, I'm not coming back unless I'm the head coach." There was a lot of talk that they were trying to tie new head coaches to Schwartz, the mandate he be the defensive coordinator. I think a lot of it may have not been true, but some of it, a lot of things out about this particular subject. What are your thoughts on it? And we will start. Let's just start with Ray, actually. Ray, what's your thoughts on Jim Schwartz?
I mean, I'm sure he was pissed. I'm sure he was emotional. But I'm sure if they show him the money, he'll be right back in the fold. That's just my. But then again, here's the thing. He has no cards to play. He's under contract. So if he quits, that means he doesn't get any money from Cleveland. And he can't go anywhere because Cleveland still holds the contract. So Cleveland's holding all the cards. So I mean, yeah, he took his ball and went home, but he'll be back. Trust me, he'll be back.
Wait, Ray. You think he's gonna be back as our defensive coordinator?
Absolutely.
Well, so can I talk? I can't give out too much information, but you notice how it's kind of went dark on both sides for a moment.
Yep.
After the whole throwing of a fit yesterday, allegedly, and it went out and it got ugly in the public real quick.
Yep.
If Todd Monken got in a room with Schwartz and said, "Look, what do I got to do to keep you here?" I think these two men are both 59 years old. They're grown-ass adults. I think, Ray, you're onto something based on some intel I have, making him the assistant head coach in some way and putting some language and giving him a hell of a pay raise, because we know Ray likes to, I mean, I know, Jimmy doesn't care about the money. So show me the money. I can see what Ray's doing up there in the corner. Show me the money. But there's something to that, Ray. I think you're not off, Ray.
Tony, what are your thoughts on Schwartz? And you're muted, just so you know.
Yeah. Oh, he's not coming back. I don't believe he'll come back. No. He cleaned out his office. I mean, hearing the rumors, they say he's going to San Francisco. Hey, you know what? You don't want to be here? Goodbye. We're gonna get somebody else, man. Hey, they probably would have a conflict. And a thought I was thinking this right here. Okay, although he's been there, and this might not happen, but now Todd, he's the voice in there. If he started talking and you got Jim Schwartz, he was so respected in the locker room, people were gonna start going to him, somebody that they're familiar with. I mean, I would love him to come back, because one thing about our defense, that was our bread and butter last year. But I don't think he's coming back.
Was it really though? Because
yes.
I know in the Tennessee game, we were the two worst teams, and we couldn't keep them from scoring.
Yeah.
The reason why we lost our star defensive tackle.
As good as you thought it was.
We lost our star defensive tackle the game before, and that left that opening up while they was able to run through us.
Yeah, come on, man. Everybody plays with injuries. Come on, baby. Come on. Well, here's the thing. How is he going to go to San Francisco if Cleveland still holds his contract?
Well, wait a minute. Now, just thinking about this, Callahan had a contract, and they let him out of it to go coach with his son. And,
Well,
and you know what? You might have a valid point right there, Ray, but I think they'll let him out of his contract.
But that's different than somebody throwing a fit.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. So
Because I think Callahan, is well respected, and if you get the opportunity to go coach with your dad, you probably have to have a little soft heart for that. But if you throw a tantrum, get angry, allegedly, these are all alleged based on multiple reports in the public. The Browns can be an a-hole too, right? Well, we're going to keep you to your contract.
Or if you want to meet in the middle, if he wants to go to San Francisco got to give up some draft picks.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I would say,
and players, or a combination of both.
here are my thoughts on this subject. I've lost a lot of respect for Schwartz in the last week or so. I felt like, again, perception to me was that he was telling the media a lot. A lot of what was coming out was Schwartz based. And then for him to not get the job. Here's the thing. I think Schwartz is a good defensive coordinator. I think too many people are acting like he's Dick LeBeau. I think too many people are acting like he's an irreplaceable candidate. Our defense has not performed well on the road any of the 3 years that he's been the D coordinator. Our defense has not performed well against jet sweeps any of the 3 years that he's been the defensive coordinator, or outside runs in general. So has he done a good job? Yeah. Do I think he's irreplaceable? Absolutely not. I think that listen, you could find a lot of good defensive coordinator candidates who might want to rehab their image from a bad head coaching job, let's say. Raheem Morris would be one that comes to mind, and say, hey, man, come run this bunch with Myles Garrett, Mason Graham, Carson Schlesinger, possibly JOK, possibly or definitely should be Martin Emerson, Denzel Ward, Tyson Campbell, Grant Delpit. Come do this for a year or two, and let's see, and Raheem Morris maybe to a point that he could never get another head coaching job. He's had a more than a few shots, but yeah, to me, I've lost some respect for him. He's not an irreplaceable defensive coordinator candidate. He's not, what some of these guys are as far as just their value. He's a good defensive coordinator, a very good defensive coordinator, I'll even give him. But we can't derail. I think we'd have been making a mistake to derail anything we wanted to do offensively to keep him happy, or to change the entire strategy of what we're doing to keep him happy. So if he doesn't want to be here, by all means, head on to San Francisco. Carry on your way. Monken's been around a while. He'll make some calls. He'll bring somebody in. He'll be fine. And if he wants to come back, great. You signed a contract, buddy. You don't have too much leverage on the whole situation.
Well, yeah, George, I agree with you. I would bring back Greg Williams in a heartbeat on the defensive side. You want to talk about firing up a defense. They all loved him. But I will tell you this. I think it was down to – I think Shieldhouse – Nate was out because his Rolodex wasn't big enough. At 35 years old, you can't call enough coaches to build a staff quickly. And you got to remember there's 10 head coaching jobs that were open in the NFL. That's an astronomical amount of coaches moving from place to place. Secondly, the Browns, when they finished their press conference, they promised us they were going to work heavily on the offensive side of the ball, and they were going to go find a coach that could help there. Last time Schwartz was a head coach was 2011, I believe. That was 14 years ago. If he was such a hot commodity head coach, and he did say he wanted a chance again, don't we think he would have got it after, I'll give the example. Even after he coached the Super Bowl winning Philadelphia Eagles defense, don't you think a team would have come clamoring? They should, right? I mean, you would think naturally that would be a case, but they didn't. So to your point, Cody, you already have the best players and locked under contract. I think you're going to see the linebackers coach. If Schwartz does leave, I think you're going to see the linebackers. Yeah, he's going to be promoted to defensive coordinator. The players will be fine with that. What he's done with our linebacking group over the last couple of years is phenomenal. Ray would agree with that as well. What he's gotten out of Schlesinger, JOK, and these guys.
Devin Bush.
Yeah, I mean, the list goes on when he's gotten out of guys that weren't even high in the draft. So give me him all day long, and yeah, I think people they're emotional in the moment. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. Well, you wanted the offense fixed because it stunk. I mean, that's what Monken's brought in here to do, is make it more so the defense doesn't have to win you every single football game.
And I think when people say that Jim Schwartz wasn't a great head coach, I think it gets lost sometimes. He went 29-51. And I think a lot of times when you say, well, he didn't have a good run as a head coach. Now, granted, they did go 10-6 one year. I think a lot of times when people say, well, he didn't have a good run as a head coach, it might be 1 or 2 years. Schwartz had 5 years, and he had a franchise quarterback all 5 years, and he had a otherworldly one of the best receivers of our time in Calvin Johnson.
Good point.
And then him controlling the defense. So the fact that they were bad, that's an unusual circumstance to just be bad too. Like he wasn't just normal bad. It's like, how are you that bad?
Right.
Granted, like I said, they did go 10-6 the 1 year. I'd like to keep the continuity.
Now,
I do agree. Not starting from scratch is ideal, but if you're going to start, I mean, it might as well be with a new head coach, I think. So moving on, not the greatest quality image here, but Myles Garrett posted this last night after news of the hire. Man, I'm glad he's good at football because he can be mentally exhausting at times. Tony, what are your thoughts on, I guess this would be Myles Garrett's reaction to the Todd Monken hire? And do you think that it's going to be a problem for us?
No, I don't think it's going to be a problem. He just expressing his feelings about it. Hey, when it's time to put those pads on, he's going to be ready to play. And it's the first time he addressed the team, that's going to tell the whole point on how the players respond to it, that showing that, hey, he's there to lead in that North Division.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that picture and it told me he's tired. I don't know if that means he's tired of what's going on or he's tired of the BS, but that is a woman leaning over tired after a shift. So I think he's tired of something. Now, I think players should stay off of social media. If I had to be their agents, they shouldn't just go out and make statements like that, because that can be construed 80 different ways. And then you get a call from your agent and all kinds of things. Here's the thing. Myles Garrett's played under people other than Schwartz, and he's still been a great player his entire career. Maybe that was his choice for head coach, but at the end of the day, and here's the thing, you bring in Schwartz. What offensive guru is out there that he's going to hire to run the offense? Because, clearly Schwartz isn't going to be running the offense. That doesn't fix the most glaring part of the football. Would you agree, Ray? I think that's where I have the most heartburn.
Absolutely. I think it was more so a show of support for Schwartz as opposed to him not liking the hire. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree there. But I'm 100% with Dustin. Please stop posting shit on social media. Like, come on, man. All you're doing is inviting these news articles. Like,
right.
But yeah, it's exhausting. I'll just say that. I want to speed run a couple things before we get out of here. Just 3 minutes left. Really quickly, let's start with Ray. What are your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders, the Pro Bowler?
Well, I think it's more of first of all, for everybody thinking that he made the Pro Bowl off of his merits, no, there was literally no one else available. I think I was next on the list. If he would have turned it down, they were calling me next. Because basically what they do is, you don't want to come? Okay, who's next? Okay, call him up.
Well, no, that's not how they pick these guys. So just so you guys know, how he got picked is a third of the fans, a third players in the NFL, and a third coaches. So for the alternates. So clearly he had votes from fans. We know people love Shador. A third players, so that means the guys around him respect him and like him. And a third are coaches. So what does that say? Just so you know, that is factual. That is how these guys get selected as alternates. So.
No, but what I'm saying though, the alternate, he wasn't an original alternate. Somebody was either heard or turned it down, and then that's how he got selected. Because,
right. But I'm saying when an alternate is picked, you got to go through that process. You just don't automatically.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm just saying there had to have been some, just like we talked about Huntley, the backup.
Yeah.
Right.
He made the Pro Bowl, was it last year, year before last? And he was the backup because everybody kept either they were hurt or they didn't want to go.
Let's call it a joke. The Pro Bowl shouldn't even exist. It's a
100%.
joke.
100%.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. Hold on. See, y'all opening up a can of worms. So what you're saying, if you're agreeing that the Pro Bowl is a joke, so then are you saying because there was a certain offensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns, he basically got in the Hall of Fame because of all the Pro Bowls that he made. So if you're telling me that the Pro Bowl is a joke.
Well, Ray, what the Pro Bowl was 15 years ago and what the Pro Bowl.
No. But my point is, though, okay, they were still playing flag football. I would say probably the last 6 years.
Well, let's back it up. So here's what the Pro Bowl really should be if we're going to be this. The Pro Bowl shouldn't be a Pro Bowl. It should be pro award ceremony. And what I mean by that is when you get the
like all pro.
Yeah. When you get your flowers, you should go to a presentation where they present you as the all-stars that year. Like, you don't need a game. You don't need a flag football game. You don't need any of that because the Pro Bowl has steadily just become a joke. And that's what I meant, Ray. 20 years ago, the Pro Bowl, they actually hit each other and tackled. 15 years later, let's not get people hurt. 10. It just became to this patty cake game. So all I'm saying is when Joe played, they kind of still push each other around a little bit, right? So when you made the Pro Bowl, back in 2010, 2011, that was 15 years ago, right? Like that actually, the game was a little different than it was.
Nah, bro. No, the linemen were still standing up and they were basically, they were holding on to each other, just dancing.
Regardless, Ray, to say that
it's not what it is now with flag football, but it was pretty patty cake back then.
Ray, regardless to say that Joe Thomas made the Pro Bowl because of made the Hall of Fame because he was a 10-time Pro Bowler is crazy. He was 6-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time second-team All-Pro. Started every game of his career, never missed a snap. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Hold on.
Can I make a comment about Shador before the time run out?
Yeah.
Why he's going to the Pro Bowl?
Wait, hold on. I got to get my point in. Okay, so what 1,000-yard rusher did he block for? What playoff quarterback did he block for? What 4,000-yard quarterback did he block for? He was a good guy on a horrible team. That don't make you a Super Bowl.
And I add too, his quarterbacks got killed during his time. Joe Thomas, his quarterbacks got killed.
Joe Thomas.
Well, hey, wait. First of all, I love me some Joe Thomas, but see, I already knew with me saying that what was going to happen. So, but it's still something to think about because if the Pro, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and look to see when the Pro Bowl actually did start getting patty cake. Because
but here's the thing: he didn't get in on his Pro Bowls. He got in because he had 10,000 plus snaps consecutive. He's the Iron Man of football. I mean, if you ask people who the Iron Man of football is, it's Joe Thomas because he didn't miss a snap for 10. I mean, think about it, 10,000 plus snaps he never missed. Like that's like that. This is just
Unheard
unheard of. Like that,
But
So-
playing on a bad team, okay, I can do that. And if I
No,
show
you
up,
couldn't. No, you couldn't.
if I show up every day on my job for 20 years, you know what I get? It ain't the Hall of Fame. I might get a watch.
Okay, but
Well, can I make a point before we shut that down? Joe Thomas, let me say this, two things. Joe Thomas, he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. But Shedeur, let me say this. That is, he got a strong fan base following. And by him going out to California, the fans who couldn't even come to Cleveland to see him, they're going to be able to see him. And that's going to produce more sales on hot dogs.
So
Soda,
now,
and beer.
now the criteria for Pro Bowl is if you're famous and you're gonna be come on, man, you're getting all the way from the Pro Bowl.
Ray, I'm gonna stop you on this podcast. You have told me the NFL is what? In the entertainment.
Right.
Thank you. So don't say that wasn't the NFL didn't see the clicks, the views.
No. That's not the point that I was making. The point that I'm making is, at one point the Pro Bowl was all about talent. Now it's about entertainment. That's the only thing I'm saying.
I tell you this: if Shedeur Sanders ends up being really good next year and does make it to the Pro Bowl or whatever, you know how many more fans will be there to see him? Oh man,
Absolutely.
Oh, don't even use the word if. He is
there
going to be
we go, Tony. There's my boy.
That's our quarterback. Hey, Mel Kiper said when he came out, he was the best quarterback in the draft. He's a pro-style quarterback. And if you go back and look at the game, you can see it. Man, the cat do not have no happy feet when he stand in the pocket. And then with him getting Todd Monken, he going to learn zone defense. Hey, man, like you said, my guy down here, I'm sorry, I lost your name all of a sudden. We're going to the playoff next year, man. We're going to have a good team next year.
I like Tony. All right. Okay. So that's my hot take. Browns are going to the playoffs. Tony says it. Ray, are you big enough man to say we're going?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
All we need is a solid line and a couple playmakers. And we in there.
Okay. For this hot take, I don't know if you guys watch NBA? Ray, you watch NBA? You watch the Cavs? You watch the Cavs game?
Last night?
I did last night.
Did you see who was on Inside NBA pimping to get his younger brother, the wide receiver from Arizona State to the Cleveland Browns?
Jordan. Yeah,
Bro, every time he plays well, I want us to draft his brother. It's really bad because his brother has injury concerns, but
right.
I
Hey,
can't
somebody
help it.
gave me an insight today. Did you guys know they said Jimmy Haslam, he buying the Milwaukee Bucks? Did you hear anything like that?
He already owns part of them.
Okay, he owned part of them. And what's the name? They're tall. Their center. He wanted to get out of there. He might try and make a move to get him over to the Cavaliers.
Well, he also owns. Doesn't he own the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Who?
Jimmy
Haslam?
Yeah.
No, not Haslam. There's a bunch of guys that own that, but
he's one of them, I think.
no, he's with the Bucks ownership group.
Sorry, the Milwaukee Bucks. He owns a portion of the Bucks. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay, hey, we got this house built, and we got 3 columns already saying we're going to the playoffs. So we need one more column.
Oh boy,
Cody, to make this house right. So we're going to the playoff next year. Cody.
Y'all, here's my statement. Before this last thing I'm saying, and we got to get out of here, man. It's 8:06. It's 6 minutes past Ray Prisby's bedtime. So if we get a whole new O-line, 2 or 3 new receivers, a backup tight end, a backup running back, and our quarterback either is a little better or plays a little better, we'll have a chance to make the playoffs. Good night, everyone. Ray, send us out of here.
And as always, love, peace, and go Browns!